Being innovative in the pharma industry is different than in any other industry. It's one of the coolest but most difficult things that you can do. It's cool because what you do can make a real difference in the lives of the patients who use your medications. You can change lives, sometimes you can even save them. It's difficult because you make such a big difference. Because of that, you have to have a really tough compliance environment to make sure that nothing that you do creates any harm. And that can stifle innovation sometimes. My name is Marc Charbonneau. I provide coaching and training to marketers and sales teams who really want to take their performance to the next level. Now in my career, my colleagues have always said that they consider me to be innovative. I've led product turnarounds, top performing sales teams, even teams that have won some of the world's most prestigious marketing awards. What I want to do with these videos is really use my experience to provide you with some practical tips to help yourself and your team be more innovative in the pharma environment. In this video, I'm really going to talk about sort of what are the principles you need to be aware of to be really innovative in this environment. In my next video, I'm going to be talking about how you create an innovative environment for yourself, then for your team, how to sell those innovations, and how to work with compliance and regulatory bodies. Okay, let's get started. So first of all, when I'm talking about innovation in pharma, I'm really talking about innovation on the business side, not on the discovery side. And I'm defining innovation as finding new ways to do things better that works in the real world. Improving performance can be any one of a range of things. It can be a better customer experience, a better process, or a better bottom line. Basically anything that helps the customer, the organization, or yourself. Now, important to remember, being creative is not the same as being innovative. Being creative, you're coming up with these great ideas. Being innovative is finding ways to make great ideas work on the ground. Now, there's a number of books out there that talk about how to approach problems, how to think about things more innovatively, Innovative Intelligence, Where Great Ideas Come From, Circle of Innovation. Really good books. I recommend you taking the time to read them. But for the purposes of this video, it's really much more about practical tips about things that you can do today to help facilitate you and your team being more innovative. No matter what industry you're in, there's really 3 principles to be aware of to facilitate being innovative. Number 1 is everybody's innovative. And it's always been amazing to me how many people have come up to me and said, oh, I'm just not that innovative. You have to be really careful with that because your mind has this amazing ability to make what you believe come true. But the reality is everybody's innovative, just not in all environments. Let me give you an example. Think about your passions. Maybe you're a great gardener, a great cook, home decorator, whatever that passion is. I bet you found new ways to do things better when pursuing that hobby. That's just being innovative. Everybody has it in them, they just need the right mindset and the right environment to stimulate it. And I'll be talking about how to do that in the next video. The second principle is, if you want to do things better than anyone else, you have to do them differently from everyone else. Now I know that seems inherently obvious, but I've always found there's a big difference between people saying it and people actually acting accordingly. In our business environment, for a lot of good reasons, we've got a lot of structure. We have business plans, templates, processes, and these are all very good and very necessary things. But as much as we've created the structure, we also need to create the space and the time for people to be innovative, people and teams to be innovative. I'm going to be talking about that in the third video. Now, the third concept you really need to be aware of if you want to be innovative is the fact that when you do things differently, you make people uncomfortable. Now, it's just human nature when people are faced with something they've never seen before, where you don't have 100% certainty in terms of how things are going to play out. People just have the tendency to push back and even reject ideas. If you want to be innovative, you've really got to know how to handle this. And I'll be talking about that in my 4th video. Now, I have a lot of examples of this, but just to give you one quick story. This is a Cannes Lions, and it's one of 3 that my teams have won for various advertising campaigns. And it's considered to be one of, if not the most prestigious award that you can get for an advertising campaign. It's like the team winning an Academy Award. And it's given for work that's both creative, so it brings a fresh new approach, and at the same time has a positive impact on the brand. So it's innovative, effectively. And credit where it's due, the people really responsible for winning this award are the creative team who come up with that original brilliant idea. But it's a big team who puts together these campaigns and launches them, and the award's given to that larger team. I'm just going to set this down. Now, my job as lead, or one of the things I was responsible for, was getting approval for these concepts so that we could develop the campaigns and launch them. Now, you'd think ideas that go on to win Cannes Lions would just be like inherently brilliant, people would just love them, getting an approval would be a no-brainer. That was absolutely not my experience. And in fact, I said it tongue-in-cheek at the time, but it just seemed that the harder it was to get approval for a campaign, the more successful it eventually was. Don't get me wrong, there were some people who were fantastic. I had some great bosses who really supported getting these campaigns approved. But in every single instance, I faced really significant resistance and pushback to changing the way that we were going to do things in comparison to what had been done in the past. Ultimately, this was a good thing. I think it really forced me to distill down the concept so I could sell it internally, and it ultimately resulted in better marketing campaigns. But it could be tough to take. I remember in one case getting copied on an email sent to my VP, basically questioning my sanity around the campaign I was supporting. And in another, this was traumatic for me because I needed this person's approval. Brilliant business person, I have huge respect for them, and I was excited about the concept, and I go in their office and I explain the concept, and they just look at me and they say, look, I really don't like this, but I will sign off on it, holding my nose. If it wasn't for the fact that I had a good track record of success on that product, I knew I would have been dead. But even with that, this can be very hard to take. Being innovative, by definition, means doing things differently. And some people push back on different as a first instinct. If you want to be innovative, you've got to get used to the idea of having to sell your innovations or your innovative ideas to people who may not like them at first. I'm going to be talking about how to do that in the 4th video. Now, my time's up for now. I hope you found this information useful to you. If you want to make sure you get the next video in the series, push the subscribe button. Regardless, would love to hear what you think about the videos, so please feel free to thumbs up, thumbs down, write a comment, or just contact me directly at marc@solutionsmrc.com. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch the video. Have a great day.